Here's my answer to SJ, a person who commented on one of our posts where we say that we predict in a way that's obviously not carved in stone, but by the way things are going, in the way obviously the elders of Peru are leaving this plane, there's a possibility that in 15 years or so, the traditional ways will be lost. And as Jay said, that Rudolf Steiner said that the inheritance of the ancient practices come through bloodlines. We love to stay very grounded, and we believe in skills, we believe in apprenticeships, we believe in practices being passed down as they have been done for generations. So unless prone to believe in, because it's running through our vein, and so now we're going to become a shaman or a healer or whatever, I believe training will make that happen. And that's definitely something that in the modern world is seen as too long of a road. And so people rather self-proclaim themselves to become healers, shamans, and then guide other people through journeys where they often get hurt rather than help. So here is my answer to SJ. Hey SJ, this is Rodolfo from Ancient Ceremony. I really appreciate your comment, actually. And I guess what I mean, and I'm looking over here because there's your post of my computer, what I mean with the 15 years, this whole will be forgotten or lost, is the traditional practices. Most of the elders in Peru, I'm focusing on Peru right now, but that's globally, I guess. Most of the elders are leaving this plane eventually. They're mostly in the 80s, 90s. And there's very few real practitioners who are taking on the practices. Kids now would rather be living in the modern world with an iPhone and so on, which is all fair enough. So what do we mean by losing the practices within 15, 20 years? We're talking about traditional practices. What we'll be left with is the modernized version of them. The quick weekend gatherings of 30, 40 people where someone who probably self-proclaimed themselves will guide them through, often with results that people haven't really looked for. The other one about the Rudolf Steiner approach of knowledge inheritance, and shamans and healers and seers will carry on with that because it's in their bloodline. We are rather a little bit more grounded, our feet are pretty planted on the ground, and we believe that the ability to actually practice the ancient way is through apprenticeship, is through years and decades of practicing and being guided by a teacher who keeps you grounded rather than making you believe that things are all hairy-fairy and achieved in a couple of weeks, maybe a weekend workshop or a 5-week Zoom call. So we believe in the ancient practice, the traditional practices. All of my teachers are in their 80s and so very old-fashioned, so we adopted that old-fashioned view on things. I see where your point is, but we disconnect with that type of view that it's all going to just happen. And like you say, people will go to books and stuff like that. Surgeons are not learning from books alone. They practice, they go through uni, they have to go and practice for many, many years before they get to attend personally to a patient. The same thing is with the ancient practices of curanderismo in Peru, but obviously there's practices all around the world. So books alone will not do it. YouTube videos will not do it. What we'll do is hard work, dedication, respect for the practices, humility, time, patience, and the list just goes on. So I really appreciate you sharing. I hope this gives a little bit clarity on what we meant with the 15, 20 years of these practices maybe get diluted or probably lost in their originality. Okay? You stay well. Thank you.